Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at finding limits numerically. So let's go ahead and start. Students will be able to solve limits numerically. If you recall, what that means is basically with the table, a lot of times they provide it for you, or even sometimes you might have to plug in. So let's go over some just basic fundamentals. How many ways to solve a limit? There are 3 ways. One's numerical approach, that's using a table. The second is graphical approach, my favorite, which is using a graph. And then the third is probably your favorite, solving analytically using algebra or calculus. Remember the most important part, what a basic limit is in terms of a common sense definition. A limit is just the intended height of the function. We might never ever reach it, but we're going to get awfully close. And then below here I have the 3 examples for you, and we're going to take a look at numerical approach today. Okay, example 1. We're going to estimate all of these limits. Now the first thing that I want to do is, if I look at part A, I want to look at what I'm approaching. X is approaching 3 from the left. Okay, so it looks to me like I'm approaching 3. Now if you identify where 3 is in the table, this is the X and this is your height, this is your Y. So the height is what we want. Let me grab Mr. Blue here. But we're approaching here. And then if I'm approaching from my left, this is my left hand side, here I go. I'm continuing on, and I'm going to stop before I hit 3.01 because I'm approaching 3. So 2.999 is where I'm going to look at, because this is the limit on the left, and basically I can look then at the y value, which is your g of x, and it looks to me like the left hand side is 5.006, which is approximately 5. Okay, let's take a look at the right hand side. If I'm going from the right, let me grab Mr. Green. I'm traveling this way, and I'm going to stop at 3.01 before I reach 2.9999. And if I look at my value here, it looks like it's going to be 5.06, which is approximately 5. Now, in terms of a general limit, if you recall, if the limit from the left and the limit from the right are equal to the same height, then the general limit exists. Now, because we're estimating here, most definitely the general limit exists and it's equal to 5. So remember, if the limit from the left and the right are the same height, then the general limit exists, and you get 5 for your answer there. Alright, let's take a look at example 2. Now, in example 1, they didn't give us the actual function, so they didn't give us this. But with numerical approach, you don't really need it. All you need is a table. So here they're just giving us more information. Don't stress out, we're not going to even use this. In part example 1, they just use g of x for our limit. Here, because they do give the name of the function, we can put that in as well. Don't stress out, it's the technique that I'm worried about here. So if I'm approaching 2 from the left, that's what this says of the function, I'm going from the left hand side, and I'm going to stop right there at 1.999. Now I can see here my height is negative 0.333. If I do part B, let me scroll down here, it looks like to me that if I go from the right hand side and I approach 2, I'm going to stop right there, that I get positive 0.3332. Now what we can say here is, yes, the left hand limit exists, yes, the right hand limit exists, but because I have 2 different values, I have negative 0.333 and I have positive 0.3332, therefore the general limit does not exist. Alright, I hope you're getting a grasp of this. It's not too bad. Okay, once again, we don't have a function here, at least a name. We just have a table, which is perfectly fine. Let me grab Mr. Red here. and I'm approaching 4 this time. And if I'm approaching from the left-hand side, I'm going to stop at 3.999, and I look down at my height, which is negative 3.333. Approximately negative 3 and 1/3. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, part B. If I'm approaching from the right, I'm going to stop right about there at 4.001, and this is equal to negative 3.3332, which is also approximately negative 3 and 1/3. And so because my limit from the right and left are the same, the general limit does exist. You don't have to write it as a fraction, a mixed number. I'm just going to leave it as this, negative 3.333, and so therefore the general limit does exist. Alright, that's all the examples I have for you. So let's go back to the learning goal. Students will be able to solve limits numerically. With a little bit of practice, I do believe you will be able to. It's not very difficult. Remember that you really want to take a look at where you're approaching, and then just be aware of the table. Some of them are horizontal like I have for you guys here. Some of them are vertical. Make sure that you're approaching on X and you're looking for a height. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.